In this section, we will learn about strings. So first of all, in this video, I'll give you introduction to strings. For giving introduction, I'll be talking about character sets or ASCII codes. Next, I'll explain what does it mean by character array. Then I will explain string, and we will learn how to create strings in C language. Let us start with character set or ASCII codes. Character set is the set of characters that are supported by a programming language like C, C++ or any other language. So the set of characters supported by a language will be same as the set of characters that are supported by any computer system. We know well that computer system works on binary number system. So everything in computer is numbers. Then how they can support characters? So basically they don't support characters. Then how we make them work on characters? We will define some set of numbers as characters. So it means for every character we define some numeric value. So we give some numeric codes. So yes, for the English alphabets, for every character there are some codes defined, and those codes are standard codes. Every electronic machine follows that same set of codes, and those codes are called as American Standard Code for Information Interchange, that is ASCII code or ASCII codes. These codes are given by American National Standards Institute, that is ANSI, and also it is ISO standard. So that's the reason every electronic device supports these codes for English language. And moreover, for other natural languages like Chinese, Japanese or Hindi, for various other natural languages, the codes are defined, and those are ISO standard codes, and those codes are called as Unicodes. So we will be learning about ASCII codes first, then I will explain you a little bit about Unicode also. So ASCII codes are for English language. Now how the codes are defined? See, for every symbol, for every letter or character, there is a code available. So let us look at English alphabets. So for capital A, uppercase A, ASCII code is 65. Then for capital B, it is 66. So 67 and so on. Like this up to capital Z, and the capital Z, it is 90. So these are uppercase letters, and the codes are starting from 65 up to 90. There are total 26 alphabets in English language. So these are 26 codes. For lowercase alphabets also ASCII codes are there, that is 97 for lowercase a, then 98 for lowercase b, 99 and so on, and lowercase z is 122. So these are for alphabets, English language letters. Then for numerical symbols like 0, 1, 2, 3 also ASCII codes are there. So what is the ASCII code for 0? It is 48. Then for 1 it is 49. For 2 it is 50 and so on. Last digit is 9. So it is 57. So these are the codes for numerical symbols. Now basically if you see what all the symbols that you find on keyboard, that forms a character set, and for every symbol on the keyboard there is some ASCII code available. Now the other symbols are remaining, like special characters like opening bracket, closing bracket, comma, question mark, plus, minus and star, so on. There are many special characters, so for special characters also symbols are there. Generally we work with these symbols, so I have written the ASCII codes, and you should remember these ASCII codes. For uppercase English alphabets, lowercase, as well as these numeric symbols. And also for enter, ASCII code is 10. For space bar, ASCII code is 13. And for escape, ASCII code is 27. So these may also be helpful if you can remember them. So this is a set of ASCII codes. So if you see the ASCII codes I have given, that this is 48 to 57, then next is 65 to 90 and 97 to 122. So actually from where they are starting and where they are ending. So that is important. ASCII codes are starting from 0 to 127. Total 128 ASCII codes are there. Total 128 that are starting from 0 to 127. To represent these ASCII codes, to represent any one symbol, 7 bits are sufficient. 7 bits are sufficient. That is binary bits. I guess you know how binary numbers are stored. So you need binary digits or binary bits. So 7 digits are enough. Like 2 power 7 is 128. So it ranges from 0 to 127. So only 7 bits are sufficient for ASCII codes. But while allocating the memory in main memory, that is in the RAM, 7 bits are not allocated. Minimum 1 byte is allocated. So that's why a character, that is the ASCII code, is stored in 1 byte in computer memory. Now I'll tell you a little bit about Unicodes. Like Unicodes are for all the languages. So ASCII codes become the subset of Unicode. So like English is also one of the language, so it becomes subset of Unicodes. Unicodes takes 2 bytes of memory. 2 bytes, that is 16 bits. Right? So because it is supporting all natural languages, and this 16 bits can be represented in the form of hexadecimal codes. So hexadecimal codes are represented in 4 bits. So these are represented in 4 bits hexadecimals, right? That is 4 4 16. So these ASCII codes are represented in hexadecimal form in 4 digits of hexadecimal. Like for example, C035. So these are 4 digits of hexadecimal. Or C03A. So this is 4 digits of hexadecimal. So Unicodes are represented in the form of hexadecimal. So you can go to a website called unicode.org. Unicode.org you can visit, and there if you look at the charts for the codes of languages, you can find codes for various languages available. And same way in Google, if you search for ASCII code, you can find codes. There are a lot of websites giving the information about this one. So this is all about ASCII codes. Now next, let us understand how a character is represented and what is character array. Then we will learn about strings. Let us see how to declare a character type variable in C and C++. Our data type is char. So char or char is a data type. And suppose I declare a variable name as temp. Now this temp is a variable of type character. So how much memory it consumes? It takes 1 byte of memory. Then what is the data present here? There is nothing present here. So temp is just 1 byte. And if I want to store something in that, then I can initialize it with a character. Let us say A, capital A. So A is stored here. See, for giving a character constant, it must be in single quotes, and we can give only single alphabet. So for example, if I write temp assign A as well as B and quotes, this is wrong. And if I write A, simply A, this is also wrong. If I write temp A, if I use double quotes, then also it's wrong. So it should be in single quotes, and we should have only one single alphabet, then that will be stored here. Now, what actually is stored in the memory? Actually inside the memory, value 65 is stored. It's 65. It's not A, right? A is not represented in computer memory. 65 is stored. Then next, how to print this alphabet? I can use printf for printing that alphabet. Printf percentile C and temp, that variable name temp. Now the value of temp is 65. So actually printf should print 65, but we have given a control character as C, so it will print letter A on the screen. Instead of C, if I make it as a D, then decimal number, that is integer type, so it will display 65 on the screen. So with this you can understand basically it is 65. As we said that we want this in character form, so printf will print that in A. Then same way in C++, if we write cout, temp, then cout knows that this is a character type variable. It is declared as character, so that is the reason it will display A. So both these will display A. So this is the method of displaying a character. So this is about the character, declaration of a character and initialization of a character, and even I can initialize it here directly, right? Instead of initializing it later, I can declare as well as initialize it. Now next thing we will see what is character array, how I can create an array of characters. For creating an array of characters, just like any other array, I will take an array name as X, and this is an array. Mention the size. So array of size 5 characters will be created. Now can I initialize this one? Yes. So I will take the same name here. I will not change the name. So I can set the name as X and size is 5. And if I want to initialize, I can give alphabets. This is declaration plus initialization. So an array will be created with a name X, and it will have alphabets A, B, C, D, E. Actually, their ASCII codes will be present in that array. Then, third method, I can create an array without giving any size. So, A, B. So, same type of array will be created of size 5 and initialized with all these alphabets. I have not mentioned the size. Size will be taken depending on the number of alphabets I am assigning. And one more method, I can create an array by either mentioning or not mentioning the size. I will write 65, 66. So these are the ASCII codes for these alphabets. So the same thing will appear, same array will be created, because 65 is for capital letter A and 66 for B and so on. So same array will be created. So all these three methods, same array will be created. Now I will create one more array. I'll create an array char of size 5, and I will mention only 2 alphabets, right? So now the array that is created, only alphabet A, B are stored, so these are all zeros, initialized with 0. So the set of characters are till here only, but the array size is total 5. I have only 2 alphabets. So yes, it is possible. So then I should know till where I have kept the characters. So it is just like a normal integer array. Array size may be 100, but you are having only 15 elements or 10 elements in that. So same as that one, array of characters of size 5, but I have only 2 valid alphabets. Rest of the places are empty, vacant, not in use. This is possible. Now next I will carry on with the same example here, and I will explain you what are strings. I want to store a name in an array. So I will create an array of characters. Then let us call the array name as name, and let us give it as size as 10, and here I will store name. Name is John. Array of size 10 is created, and in that John is stored. So John, only 4 alphabets. Rest of them are all zeros. Yes, this is character array or array of characters. Array of characters, right? So this is array of characters having name John. So array of characters is nothing but a string, right? It's a string. For storing names, for storing the words or sentences or paras, we need string, right? It is nothing but set of characters. So string is nothing but a set of characters basically. So a name is a string. But now the problem, let us understand more about string. See here, the size of an array is 10, but the string size is only 4 alphabets. Then how do I know where this string is ending? So that is the important thing. When the size of an array may be larger, but you are having only part of it as a string, then we need to know till where we have a string. So we should know either the length of a string, or we should have the end point of a string. So yes, in C and C++, it is marked with null character, that is /0. This /0. This is a null symbol or a string delimiter or end of the string character. It is called as string delimiter or end of the string character or null character, or also we call it as string terminator, right? So that's it. This is used to show the end of a string, end of string marker. So in C++, strings are delimited with null character, that is /0. But whereas in other language like Java, strings will not have /0. Then how to know how many alphabets are valid? So that is known with the help of length. So this is length. Length is how much? 4. So in Java, string length is known, or the size of a string is known by its length, but in C++, the size of a string is known by finding a termination character, that is null character. So strings are delimited by /0. Now this is just an array of characters. How to make it as a string? In C++, I must write /0 also. So take a quote and /0 and close the quotes. So this is within quotes. So John terminated by /0. So this becomes a string now. Without this, it is just an array of characters. By adding /0, it becomes a string. So that's the difference between an array of characters and a string. When you have words or names of things or places, then you can take it as a string. Now let us see what are the methods of creating or declaring a string and also initializing it. So let us see the methods. See, this is the first method for declaring as well as initializing a string. Second thing, I can declare a string without size and I will use same name. This is another way. Just the difference is I have not given the size. Then what will be the size of this array? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The size of an array is 5. So for storing 4 alphabets of a word or a name, I must take 5 spaces, so that I should provide a space for /0 also. So /0 also consumes space. Then next method of declaring or initializing a string. Say name. Now the same, as it is a string, I can write down in double quotes. So yes. So only John is written as it is in double quotes. So /0 will be automatically included. C compiler will take care of it. So we don't have to mention /0. So then this looks better than these two methods. Yes, strings are enclosed in double quotes, right? Then next, one more method of creating a string. This is a character pointer. Yes, this is a character pointer. Then where this string will be created? Now the speciality of this one is this string will be automatically created in heap. Though we did not use a malloc function or we did not write a new, but this is implicitly allocated in heap. Then where these arrays are created? All these arrays are created inside the stack. So what does it mean? We have already seen this memory structure, right? So here the program will be there, the code will be there, and this is the stack and this is heap, right? So this is stack and heap. Now if I take all these arrays, all those arrays are created here. They are created like this. If I take the example of this one, then what about this? I'll just change the name. I'll make it as just n, and this is inside heap, right? So I have changed the name n. Now if you look at this one, then this is n and this string is created inside heap along with the /0 and n is pointing there. So n is a character pointer pointing on this string. So this is the difference. So if you create these are all created inside the stack, right, which is directly accessible to a program. This is created in heap, so this is indirectly accessible using a pointer. So this is created in heap. So automatic compiler will create this string inside heap and pointer will point there. Now let me talk about printf and cout or scanf, little bit about this one. So to learn how to display this string and how that printf works. This is a string. I am taking this string. The array size is 10 and it is having a string of size 4 and including /0 is also there. Then if I use printf, say printf I want to print this entire string, that is whole name, complete name. So say S. So this control character S is for string, percentile S. Then here I should just mention name. So that is name of an array. Yes, you can just give the name of an array, a string will be displayed. So it is not possible for any other type of array. Remember this, it's not for integer or float, like just you are giving the name and it is displaying the entire array. No. Here printf knows till where it has to print the alphabets, because it will be gone printing the alphabets on the screen until it finds /0, right? So this will print this complete name and it will stop when it reaches /0. So how it will do? It will print first J, then O, then H, then N, then /0, it will stop, right? So that's how printf works. Then if suppose I want to read some new name, another name in this one, so I can use scanf. Now scanf %s again, so that is for reading a string, and give the name of an array. Yes, scanf can also read a string from the keyboard and store those alphabets there, followed by /0. So printf and scanf both are dependent on that /0. So all the library functions of C language that are meant for strings are dependent on /0, that is null character. They work upon a string till they find /0. So this is scanf. If you type something from the keyboard, like if you're typing David, then David will be stored here like this. Then followed by that, it will add /0. Thus, scanf will store /0 by itself, right? So we don't have to type /0 also from the keyboard. Just you type David like this and hit enter. It will store that. Then similarly, scene and cout also works in the same way upon a string, that is character array with a /0. Now one last thing. This is scanf. Now one more last thing. This scanf is useful for reading just one word string. If you have multiple words, it cannot read them. If you are writing a string, like suppose you are writing Taj Mahal, right, then there is a space in between. So if you type this, then scanf will just take first word, it will skip the second word. It cannot take the remaining words. So if you want to read all the words till you hit enter, right, till you hit enter, then you can use a function called getS and give the array name. So get string or getS is a function for reading an entire string until you hit enter. So the problem of scanf can be overcome with getS. So that's all about the string. So we have learned about ASCII codes and the representation of string. We have learned about the null characters. Then in the coming videos, we'll look on operations upon strings. Various operations we will discuss.